time. That they didn't want, the way Fir'aun did not want Musa to be born, the Abbasid caliphs did not want Imam Zamana to be born. They knew that this is the last Hujjah on the earth. The representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to be born. So what they did is that they imprisoned Imam Askari alayhi salam. But then if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to bring the representative, his representative, the last representative, he brought. And Imam Zamana was born. A part of his father being imprisoned. A major part of his life was under house arrest. Yet Imam Zamana was born. Coming back to the titles of Imam Askari alayhi salam, you'll find that, and that is why he got this title of Al-Askari, because he lived near a military camp. And he was also known as Abid, which means the worshipper. He was very well known of his worship. That he worshipped to that extent that Muhammad al-Shakiri says that I was seated in the mosque and I saw Imam al-Askari alayhi salam in the mihrab. He went to prostration. He prostrated. Al-Shakiri says that I sat, I waited, I slept, and I woke up. Imam Askari was still in prostration. This was the state of his ibadah. The way he was worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We mentioned earlier that he was imprisoned. Now, the Abbasid Caliph tried his level best to misguide Imam Askari alayhi salam, which he couldn't. So what he did is that he kept the most vicious and the harshest of the guards in the prison, so that Imam Askari alayhi salam is misguided. So that Imam Askari is under the eyes of the harshest and the vicious of the guards. But what happens is that those harshest and vicious guys, they themselves change. They convert into worshippers. And then themselves, they speak within themselves. They say that we wish if we would have been allowed and if we would have been permitted to serve this personality. If we could have served him. Because he spends the day in fasting and he spends the whole night in worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thus they started worshipping, they started spending their night in ibadah. Now the caliph, when he comes to know, when he is informed about these guides, he calls the guides and he says that, what is your situation in regards to this man? So they said that, are you asking our situation or shall we inform you of his situation? That personality who is spending whole night in ibadah, whole day in fasting, that he has changed the evildoers to worshippers. Now this was Imam Askari alayhi salam, the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the earth. In spite of his worshipping, he was very well known of his passions. He was very well known of his bravery. He was very passionate. Now, we all know that the jail or the prison where he was imprisoned, the situation was such that the fresh air was not available. He was provided with 2 loaves of bread and cold water. I don't know how many of you got opportunity to go to Samara and see that jail. I have personally seen the jail. The jail was very small. They would throw the loaves of bread to Imam Askari alayhi salam from up. And they would throw the bottle of water. And that's how he spent his days and his time in prison. This was the situation. Yet, Imam Askari alayhi salam did not complain to anyone. He entrusted his case to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, this is one of the signs of his passions. He was also sabir. He was also patient. A part of him being Az-Zaki al-Askari. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir la'inir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim wal asr. Innal insana lafi khusr. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilus salihat. Wa tawasaw bil haqq. Wa tawasaw bis sabr. آمنا بالله وصدق الله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين إنه خير ناصر ومعين. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين شفيع المذنبين رحمة للعالمين سيدنا ونبينا وشفيع ذنوبنا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. والصلاة والسلام على علي أمير المؤمنين وصي رسول رب العالمين علي بن أبي طالب. والصلاة والسلام على صديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء بنت رسول الله سيدة نساء العالمين. والصلاة والسلام على سبت الرحمة الحسن والحسين سيدي الشباب أهل الجنة. والصلاة والسلام على إمام الرابع علي بن الحسين زين العابدين. والصلاة والسلام على إمام الخامس محمد بن علي الباقر. والصلاة والسلام على إمام السادس جعفر بن محمد الصادق. والصلاة والسلام على إمام السابع موسى بن جعفر الكاظم. والصلاة والسلام على إمام الثامن والزامن علي بن موسى الرضا. والصلاة والسلام على إمام التاسع محمد بن علي التقي الجواد. والصلاة والسلام على إمام العاشر علي بن محمد النقي. والصلاة والسلام على إمام الإهدى عشر حسن بن علي الزكي الأسكري. والصلاة والسلام على إمام الاثنى عشر قائم آل محمد المنتظر الهجة. بقية الله خير لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Now this has been a trend. It has been a method of the Abbasid government or the Abbasid caliphs to oppress our imams or to frighten them due to their insecurity. They were thinking that the imams of Ahlul Bayt will revolt them. They will stand against them. Because as it is, the imams of Ahlul Bayt were highest in status. They were higher in status compared to them. So they were always scared. So what did they do? They brought the imams from they forced, in other words, they forced the imams to leave the capital of the capital, which is Medina, to go to other places like Baghdad. And this trend started from 7th Imam's time. Harun Rashid, he forced Imam Kazim alayhi salam to go to Iraq. And it went on up to the time of Imam Askari alayhi salam. And you'll come to the time of Imam Ali al-Naki alayhi salam. Mutawakkil did the same thing. He was scared. He was due to insecurity. From those examples in the time of our Imams, one example is that Mutawakkil, once he gathered his army, which consisted of 90,000 people. Now that's a huge number of people, 90,000 people. And then he gave them a bag of sand. each person. And then he says to his army that I want you to deposit this sand at a particular place. Now you imagine if 90,000 people, the whole army of Mutawakkil, if they deposit sand in a particular place, what happens to that place? It becomes a pile of sand. It becomes a hill of sand, if you like. So it became a huge pile of sand. And then when it became a huge pile of sand, he brings Imam Hadi alayhi salam. Now he frightens Imam Ali Naqi alayhi salam, the father of Imam Askari alayhi salam. And he makes him to climb the top hill of that sand. And he says that, O Ali, Naqi alayhi salam, can you see these people, these 90,000 people? This is my army. So Imam Ali Naqi alayhi salam tells him, O Mutawakkil, would you like to see my army? Shall I show you my army? He says, yes, go ahead. So Imam prays a dua at that time. And then Imam shows him the sky. Imam says, look at the sky. When Mutawakkil looks at the sky, the whole sky is filled with the angels. And the angels are saying to Imam Ali Naqi alayhi salam, we are your army. Shall we help you? Tell us. We shall destroy him. Now, on seeing this, he was threatened. Mutawakkil was threatened and he falls unconscious. When he gains his consciousness, Imam asks him, did you see my army? He says, yes, I saw your army. So this is the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the earth. He's got all power. He's got the power in this world. He's got the power in the next world. And due to him, it is because of the trials and tribulations that we gain lessons from the representatives of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah puts them in tests and trials. And their trials are harder than ours. Their trials are more difficult than ours. And we need to take lessons from their trials, from their test. Like Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam says, that if a believer is put in a trial and in a test, and then if he is patient, and he comes out from that trial, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends special mercy to that believer and to all those, to the neighbors and all those people who are besides him, even who live around him. The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encompasses the whole town, the whole community, due to one believer who was patient in the trial and in the test. Then Imam Sadiq alayhi salam gives the example of Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam. He says Nabi Yusuf was the servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah tested Yusuf alayhi salam. Then Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says that when he was young in his childhood, he was separated from his father. This was a great test. Then Yusuf alayhi salam was thrown in the well. Then he was sold in the bazaar of Misr. Then he reaches in the castle of Aziz Misr. And then he falls under accusations of Zulaikha. Then again he is imprisoned. The whole imtihan of Yusuf alayhi salam was of 40 years. This is amount of years. A very long period of time Yusuf alayhi salam was tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Yusuf comes out successful. Then Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, Rahima bihi ummatan. What happens is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent special mercy for Yusuf alayhi salam. That mercy encompassed the whole of Misr. That you will find that when the whole of Misr, they came out, that because of that mercy, they were suffering from drought and famine. They were saved from drought and famine. The father of Yusuf, he was blind. His eyesight was restored. His brother, they did tawbah. They were forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They left their crooked way and wrong way. And Yusuf alayhi salam becomes a king. So through one personality, through one representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through one servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there comes a special mercy. And it reminds me the tradition of our sixth Imam. When sixth Imam says that due to the servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not only servant, due to the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his presence, if he would have not been present, then the earth would have swallowed its people due to the sins we are committing. But because of the presence of the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is special mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We might be asking each other That if Imam Zamana is there, what is the benefit of Imam Zamana being present? The representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, there is a special mercy. You and I cannot comprehend. We cannot understand. Otherwise, this earth, Imam Sadiq says, would have swallowed its people due to the sins and disobedience we do against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why, what is the quality of our ibadats? What is the quality of our worship? And that is why Imam Sajjad alayhi salam says in Sahifa Sajjadiyah, he says that I don't rely upon my ibadat, O Allah. I rely upon your fadl. I rely upon your mercy. Imam Sajjad says, and how can we get mercy? We can get mercy through the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, interestingly, Riwayah says that on the day of judgment, there will be a caller who will call out, Aina Khalifatullah fil Arab. Where is the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the earth? Then Dawood will get up. Nabi Dawood will stand. And he will say, I am the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now you might be asking, and even when I was reading this riwayah, I was amazed, I was perplexed, that why Dawood should stand. There are 124,000 prophets. We have got all other Aimmas. But Dawood stood. Riwayah says, you know why Dawood stood? Dawood will stand on the day of judgment? Because Quran says in Surah Swad, verse 26, Quran says, Inna ja'alnaka khalifatan fil ard. Ya Dawood, Inna ja'alnaka khalifatan fil ard. O Dawood, we have made you the representative of Allah on the earth. So Dawood will get up. But then the caller will say, sit, O Dawood. It's not meant you. Khalifatullah fil ard is somebody else. Then history tells us that Amirul Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, will stand. And then he will be told, because one of the title of Ali alayhi salam is Qasimun Nar wal Jannah. What does it mean? The one who is going to distribute the paradise. And he is going to show his followers, those people who followed the wilayah of Ali alayhi salam, those who were the followers of Imam Ali alayhi salam, they will be told that follow your leader. And then Ali alayhi salam will show them their state and their maqam of Jannah. Remember Imam Husayn alayhi salam? On the night of Ashura, when he switched off the lamp, he said to his companions, go. And then again he switched on the lamp. And then when they all were there, then Imam Ali, according to Riwayah, Imam Husayn alayhi salam showed them their state and their maqam and their position in paradise. Oh Hur, this is your position. Oh Hilal, this is your position. Oh Zuhair ibn Kain, this is your position. So Imam Ali alayhi salam will show us our position in paradise, inshallah. We, the followers of Ahlul Bayt, the followers of Imam Ali alayhi salam, the Shias of Ali alayhi salam. Ali, inshallah. Ali alayhi salam will show the position, that this is your position. He is Qasimun Nar wal Jannah. And he will tell the people, he will address the fire of hell. He'll say, Hadha li wa hadha lak. Hadha li, this is mine and this is yours. He will throw those who will go to the fire of hell. This is yours, he'll say, the fire of hell. And he'll say to the people, to the paradise, this is mine. Hadha li wa hadha lak. This is the benefit of being the followers of the true representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the caller will say that those people who followed the false leaders, rehbarane batil, the way Riwayah says. Now go to your leaders and tell them to take you to their paradise. So the rehbarane batil, according to Quran, Surah Baqarah, verse number 166. Quran says that the rehbarane batil, the false leaders will be told, take your followers on the day of judgment. They will say, no, we don't have any rabta. We don't have any relation. We don't have any connection with them. They will refuse. Those leaders who are made up, who are not true leaders, who are not true representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will be there, but they will refuse to guide their people. Our leaders, our representatives, we call them representatives of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are guiding us in this world and in the hereafter. They will be with us and they will take charge, they will take responsibility and they will hold our hands and they will take us to paradise. They will say that, let's go with me to paradise. But those leaders, false leaders, they will say that we don't have any rabta, we don't have any relation with them, we don't have any connection. They will abandon their followers, according to Quran, Surah Baqarah, verse number 166. And that is why at the end of Ziyarat Ashura, what do we recite? Allahumma rzuqni shafa'atal Husayn yawmal wurud. What What does it mean? We recite Ziyarat Ashura every Sunday, but do we understand? It says that, oh Allah, grant us shafa, intercession. Allahumma rzuqni shafa'at al-Husayn. Yawm al-wurud. The day when I enter. Wurud is to enter. The day I enter. When? When I enter in my grave. Give me shafa of Husayn. Because our leaders are going to help us and they are going to intercede us in every step in this world and especially in the hereafter. They will be with us. Let's pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah show us the right way, the right path, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the intercession and the shafa of Ahlul Bayt in this world and in the hereafter. May Allah give us opportunity to perform their ziyarah in this world and their shafa in the hereafter. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات تابع بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك رافع الدرجات إنك غافر الخطيئات إنك قاضي الحاجات إنك على كل شيء قدير. We are requested to recite 5 times Amma Yujibu for brother Ali Hussein Abdul Rahman Mu'min, who is very ill. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the wasila of Ahlul Bayt, give him quick recovery. We'll pray all together 5 times. Amma yujibu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Amma yujibu al-muztarra idha da'ahu wa yakshifu su. Amma yujibu al-muztarra idha da'ahu wa yakshifu su. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. سورة المباركة الفاتحة. شفاء مرضى. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن عليا ولي الله. أشهد أن عليا حجة الله.